Okay, so let's talk about microgreens. If you've ever tried growing them, you know how frustrating it can be. You follow all the steps, but something just goes wrong. Today, we're going to get to the bottom of it, and I promise the real reason they fail is probably not what you think.
I mean, everything you read makes it sound so simple, right? Get a little tray, grab some seeds, put it on a windowsill, and boom, you should have this amazing, tiny, edible garden. It's pitched as the easiest thing in the world.
But for so many of us, the reality looks more like this. Sad, stretched out, pale little greens that just kind of flop over. And you're left scratching your head wondering, what on earth did I do wrong? If it's supposed to be so easy, why does this happen all the time?
Well, here's the big secret. The problem isn't you. It's the advice. Most of the advice we get completely ignores that we're trying to copy a 12,000-year-old outdoor process, but we're doing it indoors, with no real soil, no rain, and no sun. We have to become all of those things.
It all starts right at the beginning, with germination. And the first big idea we need to flip on its head is that seeds want a comfy, cozy vacation. The truth is they're built for a fight, and our job is to give them one.
The common myth is to just sprinkle some seeds, mist them with water, and wait. But what they really, truly need to get going are two things that sound totally wrong: physical pressure and complete darkness. This is what's called mechanical weight. By stacking another tray on top and adding about 10 or 15 pounds, you're literally faking the weight of soil. This pressure forces the seed to make perfect contact with the wet growing medium, so they all germinate at the same time. And it triggers that first little root to dig down deep and anchor the plant.
So after a few days under that weight, we move on to the blackout period. Now this isn't just about avoiding light, it's a super strategic move. Being in the dark tricks the seedling into thinking it's still buried deep underground. So instead of wasting energy on tiny leaves, it pours all its resources into building a massive root system and stretching its stem up, searching for sunlight. The payoff is a much stronger plant with a nice tall stem that's so much easier to harvest.
Okay, so you've got perfectly germinated seeds. They're strong. Now it's time for light. And this is where the second major mistake almost always happens. That bright, sunny window you hear about? Yeah, it's almost never enough.
You know, putting them in a window seems so obvious, but it's really a trap. As Zesty Greens points out here, that light is just way too inconsistent. It changes with the weather, the time of day, the season, and that's what causes those weak, leggy greens that are all desperately stretching towards the glass.
So here's the real key. What actually matters isn't just the amount of light, it's the quality of that light. Plants basically speak a language, and that language is the color or the spectrum of the light they get. And this chart really breaks it down. Different colors are like different signals. Blue light tells the plant to stay short, get leafy, and grow strong stems. It's the antidote to legginess. Red light tells the leaves to expand and can even make things like pea shoots taste sweeter. A full spectrum light, then, is like giving them a perfectly balanced diet for healthy growth.
So what's the magic number? For microgreens, you want to look for an LED light with a color temperature around 6,500 Kelvin. That number basically means cool white or daylight. It's the closest we can get to mimicking perfect natural sunlight indoors, giving our microgreens that balanced diet they crave for strong, even growth. So when we put all of this together, we see this really big shift in thinking. Being successful with microgreens isn't about blindly following a to-do list. It's about understanding the entire system that you're trying to create.
The real reason for failure is simply a system misunderstanding. You're not just a gardener, you're more like an engineer, creating a tiny, perfect environment. And the three main controls you have are pressure, darkness, and light. When you learn to manage those three inputs, you get a reliable, successful output every single time.
By getting a handle on why these things are so important, you move from just guessing and hoping to getting predictable, amazing results. You're no longer just hoping things will grow, you're actually telling them how to grow. So now that you understand the why, are you ready to master the how?
If you want to see how these big ideas translate into a practical, step-by-step process with all the specific timings and techniques for different seeds, this article from HerbSpeak is the perfect place to go next. It really breaks down all the practical details you'll need.